Happy 59th birthday of Doctor Who, everybody! While we await the shenanigans for the 60th anniversary and beyond next year, now seems as good a time as any to take a look back on the era that just passed us by. Having been ensnared in another wacky YouTube collaboration project, I've been tasked to offer some positive vibes towards a scene in the 13th Doctor era.
Now that is a challenge. That is a challenge.
So just sit comfortably for a few minutes as I talk about one brilliant scene.
Oh, brilliant.
For this occasion, I'll be turning to the Series 12 installment, Can You Hear Me? This is an episode I felt didn't quite work, but still had a lot of potential and stuff to appreciate. Among those things is this godlike being Zelen, who is essentially feeding off the nightmares of mortal beings and toying with them for his own amusement. Having the Doctor deal with such a powerful entity usually makes for a good stakes-raising scenario, and the allusions to mental health throughout the story also offer some potent content to explore. But the main portion we'll be looking at here concerns the central plot twist of the episode. Up until that point, we were led to believe Zelen was the sole player in this game, and that he has entrapped this mysterious woman that has been sending visions of distress to the Doctor's friends. But it is revealed that this person is in fact a counterpart to Zelen, a fellow mischievous being that he manipulated the Doctor into releasing. The concept of a powerful pair is somewhat of a recurring motif in the Chibnall era, with Series 11 having the Ux and the Ravagers being in Flux. Of these three examples, however, Can You Hear Me is the narrative that probably best justifies the use of a duo in particular. For instance, this dynamic is a decent subversion of expectations, as the woman, known in the script as Rakaya, seemed like the sort of cosmic woman who might fall victim to a creepy, evil old guy, and the kind of person the Doctor would typically want to help. It being revealed that she is not only in league with him, but is the main power among the both of them, not only upends cliché, but it also presents a midway escalation of the threat, as while the Doctor was dealing with one menace before,
now there are two of them.
By contrast, when you look at Flux, the fact there was more than one Ravager didn't really change the plot of that story in any meaningful way, and Swarm revealing Azure in the first episode didn't really up the stakes of that tale all that much, nor did it showcase any particular intelligence or skills of manipulation on his part. They both could have easily been a singular villain for all intents and purposes. Likewise, the Ux being a species of only two members didn't really affect the Battle of Ranskoor Ave Callhouse either. In addition to this, the God reveal is also followed by Rakaya telling the story of how her and Zelen, in a wager, each attempted to manipulate a planet to destruction, and how this led to the populations of those planets working together to contain her. This tale is accompanied by a nice bit of animation, which is not only unusual for Doctor Who, but is a clever way to expound this exposition. It obviously would have been overly expensive to portray these planetary conflicts on the show's budget, so this is an effective way to give us the backstory without simply resorting to having the characters talk about it in a room. And them projecting this imagery into the Doctor's mind is a solid demonstration of their abilities. The background being in a starry space allows the colors of the story to pop out a lot more, which keeps you visually engaged, and the gods being presented through constellations is also a cool means to connect this to fables of old and offer an air of mystique about their presence. Once the tale reaches its conclusion, it is revealed that the Doctor has been tied up during all this. With her role in their plan complete, they are going to leave 13 and her friends on the station that was used to keep Rakaya imprisoned as they head towards Earth to play with the heads of humanity, being subjected to nightmares on a platform that will eventually burn while the villains go off to wreak havoc is a precarious situation to leave our heroes in. It is one worthy of any good cliffhanger. Unfortunately, due to the structure of the story, all of this is resolved in a pretty rushed manner. Tensions were raised and the episode couldn't quite accommodate it due to cramming so much material into a single script. This is the sort of turn that would have benefited from having a lot more time to deal with the fallout of Rakaya's release to make her and Zelen's defeat more satisfying. Although I suppose the feeling of being let down is a testament to the effectiveness of the twist that set up the scenario in the first place. And in isolation, the scene in and of itself is still well played and offers a real glimmer of something brilliant.